Hey, what's going on YouTube? Adam C here. Thanks for watching. Adam C Solo on Instagram. So I'm going to make some changes to the plans of my fish room. This tank is going to pretty much remain the same. I'm going to keep breeding these wild Taeniolethronot versicolor yellow, and I'm hoping this younger group of Lichenochromis acuticeps will eventually start breeding in here. There's 5 of them. But in the next month or two, I'm going to add a third breeding group into this tank. And I'm not going to let you guys know what it is. When I get them, you'll see them. So this tank will have a minor change. The 220 is going to have a bit more of a major change to it. Well, semi-major. You'll notice the Kawingi, the Christii, and the Insignis, or the Protomelas tanzania, Spilinotus tanzania, too many names, they are already gone. So the purpose of that is I am clearing some space. The only all-male haps that I'm keeping in this tank are my favorites. I'm going to keep the Sapphire, I'm going to keep the Mararox, the Mola, the Acuticeps, the Chilotilapia rhodesi, the Sulphurhead, my Ornatus, and the Buccochromis lepturus. That's about 10 fish I'm going to keep in here for all-male. But what I'm going to be adding in here is my entire group of Buccochromis heterotaenia. There's 11 of them, and I think by clearing out some of the male haps in here that I'm not, super attached to, that I can move them in here, and I think they'll all do just fine together. Could it backfire? Absolutely, it could backfire. These things are never a certain thing. You can do all the research in the world, but it still might not end up working out for you. But that's going to be the plan. That 125 that I have all those Buccochromis in that I'll show you in just a second, it's simply not going to be big enough for whenever those Buccochromis start breeding and chasing each other. There's already some males in there that are starting to challenge each other. That 125 is just not going to cut it long term. And in all honesty, this 220 is not going to cut it long term either. I plan to raise those fish up to about 10 inches, and then I'm probably going to sell them off. Maybe individual males, but more than likely I'll split them into separate breeding groups and sell some F1 breeding groups to people if they are so interested. But that's a ways down the road. So that's what's going to happen with this tank. Let's continue on. This is the 125 with the Buccochromis heterotaenia I just referenced. So all 11 of them, probably in the next month, are going to go into the 220 as soon as I'm confident that they're not going to be eaten. So what's going to remain in this tank is going to be my breeding group of the Mylachromis spilostachys. It will give them a lot more room and peace to continue to breed. They're such a great group, I want to give them more room and let them be more calm. And I'm also going to keep the group of 4 Tyrannochromis macrostoma in here. As long as they all get along, they can stay, but if the macrostoma start being butt heads, then they're going to be gone too. They'll probably go in the 220 eventually. So it's going to turn into like a smorgasbord of predator breeding groups in the 220. And like I said, I'm hoping it'll work, but in all honesty, my plans will probably not work out as perfect as I would hope. But these guys are going to get this whole 125 to themselves. And then you will notice that my juvenile and fry tanks are a lot more thinned out. I sold about 100 fish out of here today, shipped them on out of here. But I did keep some of these for myself to grow out and see what I want to do with them. So there's probably 15 F1 Buccochromis rhodesi yellow, and then there are also probably 10 to 15 of the Mylachromis spilostachys. I plan to grow these guys out in this 75 until they're about 5 inches. I think they'll be able to last that long in a 75, but we'll see. So we'll have plenty of updates on these guys coming pretty soon. This 40-gallon was also thinned out quite a bit. These are F1 Taeniolethronot versicolor yellow, as well as some more Mylachromis. But I thinned it out a lot. I shipped out about 40 of the Taeniolethronot versicolor yellow, and I kept about 20 for myself, 20 to 30. Sorry if you hear crying in the background. Those are my dogs. They're whining at me to get out of their cage. But then there's also, I think, 10 or 15 more Mylachromis. I've just got Mylachromis everywhere. Speaking of Mylachromis everywhere, this is my 10-gallon. There is about 60 in here right now, and that is all that is left of my fish room currently. Like I said, I sent a shipment out via air cargo this morning. It was 5 boxes. It was 152 fish, so it thinned out quite a bit for me, which is a good thing. Opens up some more space, and you can't hang on to every fish forever. So anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed today. hopefully you guys like what the plans, what the future holds for my plans. I know some people might not like it. Some people have some of the fish that I sold out of the 220. I know people like a lot, so I can't please everybody. But what I am going to try to do is make my plan work, but I'm not so sure that it's going to work out perfectly. But if it fails, you guys will be the first to know, and if it succeeds, you'll know as well. So I appreciate you guys watching, and see you next time.